Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is episode number 61, and in this episode, we're going to be taking on Ganon's castle, at least the first part of it, at least. How to get there? Well, it's at a place that we haven't gone to yet, but it's where Hyrule Castle was in the past. And once you enter this place, this little cutscene will play. And of course, you won't be able to do anything here unless you have completed all of the temples and awakened all of the sages. So if you haven't done that, you will not be able to actually get into the castle because the sages will create a bridge for us in a minute that will lead to the entrance. Anyway, it's a pretty intimidating castle. I mean, it's definitely a good-looking evil castle, that is for sure. Well, it appears as though there's nothing over here to the left. There will be something over to the right, but we need to get the dungeon item first. So that's going to be our first step when entering the castle. But what we're going to do first is actually enter the castle, because that would help. Culination, can you hear me? It's Roru the Sage. We six will gather our power to create a bridge to the castle where Ganondorf dwells. The castle's keep, which is known as Ganon's Tower, is protected by 6 evil barriers. One for each temple, right? Bring down the 6 barriers and save Princess Zelda. So we'll need to go through like a little mini trial for each of the, I guess, elements or the temples. So we have fire, water, shadow, what else? Spirit, and actually light as well. Because even though it wasn't technically a temple, it is one of the elements. Over to the right here. We can't actually do anything over here, but there is a golden skulltula that we can grab, so I want to do that. You can blow up these rocks right here, and you can actually lift the silver rocks with the silver gauntlets if you have those at this point. I don't believe there's anything inside of these rocks, but thought I would just check just to make sure. As for the golden skulltula, he's just behind the pillar right here. You can kill it very easily with the hook shot or the long shot. And you can pretty much get this at any point during the game. After you do that, I'm just going to go check this boulder right here. Anyway, what I was talking about before, so we have shadow, forest, light, fire, water, and shadow. Unless I said shadow twice. Never mind. Whatever. Spirit, all that good stuff. I'm not going to list all of them because apparently I can't even remember what I'm saying, but you get the clue. And it's going to be one for each of the medallions that we have, basically. And we'll need to do a little trial that has to do with whatever was in that temple, kind of, sort of. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be tackling the shadow barrier first. And we're going to remove that first. Mostly because that's where the dungeon item is. You don't have to do it in any specific order, but that's just what I'm going to do. When you first enter the room, or enter the castle, down the stairs there's a couple of Beamos on pillars. You can kill them with bombs fairly easily, and that will actually help you stock up on bombs because most of the time they will drop bombs in their death. Now, when we enter the next room, this is the center room, which will actually end up leading eventually up to the top of the tower. And as you can see, there's these barriers everywhere, these energy fields that are kind of all attached to the main pillar and the main central part of the tower. And they're all color-coded as well to match the medallions. So we're going to be looking for the shadow one first, which should be purple. That would make the most sense. As for these giant silver pillars that are just kind of randomly placed around that you'll see sometimes, don't worry about those just yet because we can't do anything with them. We need to get the item first. So, like I said, first step, the shadow barrier. You will also need the light arrows, so make sure you're stocked up on magic and light arrows and all that stuff. Anyway, when you go through the door, you can shoot your fire arrow across the way at the torch right there. Just ignore the bubble and use your hover boots to cross the little ice pattern bridges things, platforms, what have you. Once you get to this platform over here, let's see, I'm going to see if I can bomb this. I don't know if you can. Nope, apparently that doesn't do anything. Oh well. Well, it looks like there's a switch over there, but we can also hit the torch again with fire arrows from across the way, and that will create another little bridge of ice for us. I don't know if it's ice, but it looks like ice. I've only actually walked on these with the hover boots, so it's hard to tell because you don't have traction either way. Anyway, you can then long shot up to the treasure chest over here and run around it in circles. That's cool. Once you actually get around to opening it, it's going to be the dungeon item, so to speak, of Ganon's tower. And it is the golden gauntlets. You can feel even more power coursing through your arms. Grab with A and lift stuff up. So now those large silver pillars that we've been seeing around here, yep, you guessed it. Now we can lift them up and throw them around and break stuff. And it's pretty awesome to see Link's superhuman strength now. But the one complaint I did have about it, it wasn't really so much a complaint, but it was just kind of confusing how they had the silver gauntlets and the golden gauntlets pretty much be back-to-back as far as the items go. I don't really know why they did that, but whatever. Would have been cooler to get the silver gauntlets earlier, but I mean, I guess they had to save some of the items for later in the game. You can't have everything at the beginning, but oh well. Alright, so this switch here, we need to hit it with the Megaton Hammer because it is rusted, and that will open the door for us, and now we're free to enter the next room. So, I should be able to make this with the hover boots, and just get right over to the path, and we'll be good to go. Yes! No, I don't want to do that all over again! I had to do that all over again. But now that I'm back, I guess there's no more worries. You can also hit the torch right here, which I didn't really think about, but that also creates the little ice blocks for you to walk across. I guess that's easier than trying to shoot all the way across the room, but I don't do things the easy way, I do things the cool way. Now in this room, this is kind of an interesting room. This is what all the barriers will look like. We'll just have the different colored flames to match whatever element it is. Pull out your light arrows and shoot it right into that ball of energy, and it will disperse. Then we'll get to see our sage of this element, I guess. The shadow barrier is dispelled. Please save the princess. You got it, Impa. That's what I'm trying to do. And after we talk to Impa, we will actually be warped back to the entrance. So that part is cool. And then we'll have a little animation here with the shadow barrier being gone, which is awesome. So one down, a bunch more to go, but now we need to actually go back to the entrance because we can lift some blocks. Alright, so back where all these boulders were, there was this giant pillar over here. If you remember correctly, there it is. The top of your screen there. We can now lift this and remove it to reveal a hole in the wall, and that's where we're headed. This is just awesome. Look at that strength. How much do you lift, Link? My goodness. And he just demolishes that. And it's pretty freaking awesome. So in we go. And this is the last Great Fairies Fountain of the game. So as with all the other Great Fairies Fountain, we're going to play the Zelda's Lullaby to activate it. And the Great Fairy will just shoot out of the fountain to give us one last upgrade. Hello, Great Fairy. We meet again. Welcome, Culination. I am the Great Fairy of Courage. That's very fitting, seeing as how that is our Triforce power. I'm going to enhance your defensive power. Receive it now. And no, unfortunately, it is not a magic spell or anything cool like that. I mean, it's still pretty cool, but this will help you enormously against the fight, or in the fight. Against the fight doesn't make a lot of sense. During the fight, within the fight, with Ganondorf. Your defense power is enhanced, so now everything will do half damage to you. Your defensive power has been enhanced. Damage inflicted by enemies will be reduced by half, and that's right, that's all enemies. So attacks that would normally do 4 hearts worth of damage will only do 2, etc. When battle has made you weary, please come back to see me. Actually, I will not do that because I never visit a Great Fairies Fountain more than once because that is just creepy. But as you can see in the top left-hand corner, our hearts are all now like powered up and super glowy with white outlines, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Anyway, I'm going to stop here, guys. In the next episode, we're going to finish off the rest of Ganon's tower, at least the bottom section, and finish off the rest of the trial, so to speak, and shut down the barriers. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks, and please stay tuned for episode number 62. Game on!